Lesson number 5. I think this will be a last lesson, last big video about Er9x firmware. And next movies about Er9x will be only small shots about small things. But I want to make next movies about FirstSky firmware with Er9x firmware with FirstSky telemetry, and I won't make any movies too about Gruvin firmware. But now Er9x. What today to do? Today we will make advanced programming about any glider with motor, glider with 4servos wing, for example Cularis, or any upgraded Easy Fly, Easy Glider, any Fox from IPO, you know. Any glider with motor with 4servos on wing. And we won't use a model with 3 flight modes, and we want any movement of some elements on our radio, on our stick. You will understand later. So we will start with creating a new model. We rename it, okay, for new name, Again, sorry for my English, you know. Listen. Lesson 055. Okay. What next? In next step, we want delete, remove all mixes which are in a standard new model. We can delete mixes here one by one, but we can delete them all in last screen, 10 by 10. Row up, clear mixes, menu, all mixes are gone. You can see all mixes are gone. Okay, before programming, I want say you something about our glider with 3 flight modes. Flight modes we will switch by this 3 position switch. This is similar with a preview lesson. Flight mode start, flight mode soaring, flight mode landing. But all these flight modes will be on this switch. Yes, all these flight modes, 3 flight modes, will be on only if this switch, you know, our master switch from previous lesson, if this switch will be on, our flight modes will be works. If this master switch will be off, all flight modes not works, and we have standard 4 channels model airplane. Why? Well, this is for any situation if you in any trouble, any problems, you don't know which flight mode you have and what with this next switch is, oh my god, airplane comes down, what to do? You will switch this one switch, master switch, and you have standard 4 channel model without any things with flight mode and next advanced functions. Yes. For this function, we must create 3 software switches. Software switch 1 on, software switch 2 on, software switch 3 on, and next 2 software switches. Why? Because in flight mode soaring, I want this throttle stick, I won't have it free, without throttle function. Where will be motor, throttle? Motor will be on this switch in flight mode soaring. When I go this switch on, motor will be go on value set with this potentiometer. Yes. And what with this free stick, on this stick we will have camber mix. I think camber is right word. You will see what I think. Back to software switches. We need software switches 4 for motor off, and software switch 5 for motor on. But 4 and 5 will work only in flight mode soaring, and we know flight mode soaring is this switch and this switch. Okay, go to software switches, custom switches, software switches. All switches will be type and and software switch or custom switch 1, switch throttle, and 3 position switch in up position, it means ID 0. Throttle and ID 0. Software switch 2, throttle again, and ID 1, middle position. Throttle again, and lower position, ID 2. And now 2 software switches about this motor. Software switch 4 will be on if will be off, because now we will make off position. Software switch 4 will be on if this switch will be off. We know this is switch L, and we will make negative 0 position. L, yes, with this letter on first position of name. And if will be on flight mode soaring, it means our software switch 2. Software switch 2. And software switch 5 will be on if this switch will be on, switch LR. And again, if will be switch on, software switch 2, software switch for flight mode soaring. Fine. Software switches we have all finished. What next? Next time, next will be any important thing, safety switch. Because I programmed this model with live this model, yes, all is under voltage. I want to make safety switch for motor. Well, next important thing, where are my channels? For easy programming, aileron 1, channel 1, flap, channel 2, next flap, channel 3, next flap, channel 4, elevator, channel 5, rudder, channel 6, and motor, channel 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And how I say, motor is on channel 7. And we won't make any safety switch for channel 7. First time we must set not switch but value, because 0 value is not any throttle. This is middle position of throttle. We must set minus 100%. Minus 100%, it means 0 throttle position. And switch, I use for this switch root. I use it on I think, you know, maybe all airplanes might, because I need I want to be sure that my motor is really off. Here I have it finished. Switch negative position of rudder switch. Yes. Not this rudder switch, and minus 100%. Yes, this is my safe switch for motor channel. And I know with this safe switch, if I have this switch in off position, my motor will be off every time. Okay. First time we must make standard bass mixes for all time flying with this master switch off. If this master switch will be off, remember we will have a standard 4-channel model, and we must program this standard 4-channel model. We start with mixer. Channel 1, you know channel 1 is aileron. Aileron, white, not 100%, but for example 80%. Why 80? This is about one problem with trimming. If you don't allow extended servo movement limits, if you have only maximum 100% of servo movement, and if you have servo movement 100%, 0, 100%, and if you trim middle position, for example, or for 10%, you have new middle position on 10%, not on 0, on 10%, and here you have 100% of movement, but here you have only 7, 8, 9, 90%, because you have by trim move at center, yes. And we want for any advanced model with more servos on wing, full servo movement without any limits during trimming. Yes. You have select from two ways. Way number one, allow extended servo limits. Way number two, I use in bass mixes not 100 but only for example 80%, and I have a space for big trimming during flying without limiting edge position, end position of servo movement. I don't know if is it understandable with my English, but probably I will make same small movie about this. This is not bug about this problem during flying, because this is often a question. Okay, ailerons 80%, and we will make differentiation on this time. For example, this will be x bigger than 0, and switch without switch, because this mix will be switch on every time without any switch. Okay. Now we can copy this mix, and differentiation will be not 80 but for example 60%, and of course x less than 0. Okay, we have our aileron. Now we can copy this both these mixes on our next aileron on channel 4. But of course we must change because this is not our what do we want? What we want? We must change values. This will be minus 80. Now it's minus 80. I am a little bit lost in this because this standard mixes I have prepared in my computer and I move it on my radio. Okay, and here minus. Standard mixes with differentiation and with some things which I use. I have prepared in my computer, and with EP software I move it during cable to my radio, and in radio I only make small changes. Okay, now we have ailerons. What next? Of course, elevator. Elevator we have on channel 5. Servos elevate, same cause, 80% without switch, and same I can copy it on channel 6 and change it on ruder, because on channel 6 we have a ruder. I have elevator, but you see elevator have a different direction. I'm making reverse with change of number on negative values 80. Okay, elevator, ruder and ailerons. Now we will make a mix for throttle, basic throttle function. How I say, we want in next flight modes, in next mixes, movement of throttle function on this switch. And we must have every throttle in every situation we have on any switch. And in this case, in this standard 4-channel model configuration, we need throttle function under this switch off. Okay, this means channel 7 south verbally will be throttle, because we have it in standard throttle 100%, and switch this throttle, this switch throttle in 0 position. Yes, now we have throttle 7. You know, motor is not working. Why? Because we have switch off our safety switch for motor. Yes. Okay. We have set motor for this switch position. Yes, without any flight modes. Okay, safety switch off for motor. And what next? We will start with flight mode start. We will switch on our master switch and 3 position switch in up position. Our flight mode start. We will start with throttle mix. We copy this throttle. We copy this mix. Copy it and change it. Throttle 100%, and we change switch on our switch 1. Yes, our software switch, custom switch 1. Remember, switch 1 is this switch, our master switch on, and 3 position switch in up position. Yes, now we have again our motor is working. What next? How our ailerons are working, because these mixes are without switch, but I need in this flight mode I need flaps like ailerons. Yes, because this flight mode start will be not only for startup model, it will be probably flight mode for standard motor flying, for aerobusy, etc, etc. Okay, first flap in on channel 2, and I will make a mix where source will be iron stick, weight for example only 50%, because I think it is okay, smaller movement of flaps like ailerons. What is important? Trim off, because flaps I will use in any next mixes. I don't want their movement by trim of ailerons. Yes, if I will make a trimming, ailerons trimming, only ailerons will be moved, not flaps. Trim off and switch, same switch for our flight mode. Start, switch 1. Now I can copy this mix on next flap on channel 3, and you see it's okay, but of course I need different side of movement. I will change. Okay, so we have flaps like ailerons in flight mode start. Now I want next good mix flaps on elevator. If I have any movement of flaps up, when I pull up, I want any small fraction of flaps, but only on pull up. If elevator will go down, I want nothing happens. This is good mix for Coolaris and for any similar airplanes for more stable brakes. Okay, again, flaps are channel 2 and 3, and of course I want to make mixes on channel 2 and 3. Source will be elevator, because this will be reaction on elevator. Bike, of course, not 100%, but for example 45. Of course, right value will be different on real airplane. Same reason like on previous mixes, trim off, because I don't want, if I will trim elevator, I don't want trim flaps. Yes, trim on elevator must trim only elevator, not flaps, and for this I must set trim off. Curve I must set on X less 0, because I want to use it only on up, not for down. Okay, this mix is finished, and I can copy it on the next next channel on second flap. I can check it. Okay, you can see fraction of flaps on elevator movement, but only on movement up. And of course all next mixes are working too. Okay, this is flight mode start. Now flight mode soaring. middle position of 3-position switch, and of course master switch is on. We can start with motor, because remember, motor will not be on this throttle stick, motor will be on this switch, and we have software switch 4 and software switch 5 for this. First step, we will set a 0 position of motor, when motor will be off. Go on channel 7, because channel 7 is motor channel. New mix. Source will be max, and white will be minus 100%. It means 0 throttle position. Minus 100, minus 100%, and switch will be software switch 4, custom switch 4. Yes. Now we will make a mix for motor on, and if will be motor on, motor will have value throttle by this potentiometer. Yes. We can copy this mix and change it. Source will be not max but P3, potentiometer number 3, this potentiometer. White will be not minus 100 but 100. And switch will be not switch 4 but switch 5. It means this switch is down and flight mode soaring is on. Okay, we can try it. Of course we must switch on our safety switch. Now you can see motor is switch off. When I switch on this switch, motor is on and I can okay, this is our motor on flight mode soaring. What next? I want on throttle stick, because my throttle stick in this flight mode 3 without throttle function. I want on throttle stick reaction of ailerons and flaps. I think it's camber mix for more speed or more slower flying during soaring. We can start on channel 1, first aileron. Source will be throttle stick. White, I think 100 is probably too much. I use about 50%. Trim we can switch off. I don't use trim on throttle stick, but we can set off. And switch will be custom or software switch 2, our software switch for soaring flight mode. Software switch 2. We can try it. You can see it works. Now we can copy this mix on next 3 elements on wing. On channel 2, on channel 3. During this copying you must be very careful, because and on channel 4, wait a moment, I will tell you. Okay, yes, this is camber mix. I think camber is right name, I am not sure, but more speed during soaring, less speed. Yes. If you have more if you have many mixes in your Er9x memory on your T9x radio, radio may be a little during programming, not during flying. During programming, a little bit slow, and when you move or copy a mix, your selected mix is without warning selected off, and you have selected any different mix and you move it without warning. You move different mix. Be careful and watch what you to do. Okay, this is mix for soaring. What next? Maybe I want a mix for rudder to ailerons for nicer brakes. Go on rudder. This is channel 6. Channel 6. Yes. Source will be ailerons, and of course you must find right value for your concrete airplane. I have this, for example, and you can see when I have ailerons movement, my rudder goes to automatically. But I forgot for one important thing: switch. All must be on switches. Switch to for our flight mode soaring. But before programming of next flight mode, one my mistake. Mix which make this reactions of flaps on elevator will be work only in flight mode 1 and 2, and my mixes are without switch for it. Yes, this switch now is with this mix. This mix you can see is without switch. It means it works every time. I don't want it. Yes, I want works. I want this mix only in a flight mode. Start. This means switch 1, and I want this mix. This is second flap. Yes, on channel 3. Switch 1. And I want this mix in flight mode soaring. This means switch 2. I can copy this mix and only change switch 1 on switch 2. Yes, and the same on channel 2 on first flap. And change on switch 2. Okay. Now it works in flight mode 1. It works in flight mode 2. But in flight mode 3 is not working. Okay, my mistake. Okay, in flight mode 3 I must look on my notes. In flight mode 3 we will have throttle back on this throttle stick, but only from middle position to up. From middle position to down we will have a butterfly mix for braking before landing and loss of high end speed with elevator reaction, of course. If I want reaction of throttle on throttle stick movement strictly from center position, I can use a curve on this mix x more than 0. But I want reaction a little bit higher than is center position. Yes, I need here some dead zone, because of course it can be a little bit difficult have a perfect center position of stick. Yes, I want make a throttle from maybe from this position, not exact center. How to do? We can to do with custom curve. Go in channel 7, channel for throttle, and we will make a new mix. Source will be throttle, it's right, white 100%, okay. Switch will be switch free, custom software switch free, switch for flight mode. Sorry, landing, flight mode landing, and curve. We will make custom curve 9. Why 9? Because this is 9 points curve, and it is fine for remember. Curve 9. And now we will make a curve for throttle reaction from upper position. Values: minus 100%, minus 100%, same, 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 same. Here minus 25. Of course, this they are my values. You can use similar or different. And 55 and 100. And you can see this curve. This side is lower position of throttle stick. When I go up, I go to the right side. This bold line on the middle position is center position of throttle stick, and you can see then throttle is go up a little bit more space after center position. Yes, this is 0 throttle and full throttle. Okay, we can try it. We can switch on our safety switch for throttle. We have switch on flight mode 3, and you can see in lower half of throttle stick movement nothing to do. When I go a little bit up, my motor is switch on. Okay, now about butterfly mix. Butterfly mix, it means, probably you know it. In most cases, ailerons go up, flaps go down. Yes, like butterfly wings. Butterfly wings. Yes. And elevator on my airplanes must go down. Because when I activate butterfly mix, nose of my airplane goes up. And I must go continuously with elevator down for reaction on this movement nose up. Go on channel 1, aileron, and we will make new mix when aileron source will be not aileron but throttle stick, because I switch off my safety switch for safety, because this will be reaction on a throttle stick. Yes, throttle white, for example 90%, trim off will be better, and curve because it must works only when throttle stick goes down, not up. Yes, I can show you. Oh, but we need opposite direction because ailerons must go up, not 90 but minus 90. Okay. Yes, it's good, but this is not fine because butterfly works only ailerons up. This is not good. Of course, easy way, I must use the curve x less 0. Go up, but no down. Yes, this mix I can of course switch. It's very important. Switch free. Switch software custom switch for flight mode landing. And I can copy this mix on second aileron on channel 4. And be very careful if you still move selected mix, because this can make a little bit complication. Okay, we have on channel 4. Try. Okay. Now we will make a similar mix for flaps, but flaps will go down. Select this mix. I think this is here, this, and copy it on flap channel 2. I copy this mix from channel 1 aileron on channel 2 on flap. But I want movement down of flap, not up. Easy way, change from minus to plus 90. Yes, this is fine. And now I can copy this mix on second flap on channel 3. Same situation, be very careful if you copy selected mix. Okay, it's done. It's done. Yes. And important thing, we need a reaction of elevator. We can make it from this mix. Go for mix channel 4 aileron. This is this mix about butterfly, and I copy this mix to channel 5. This is elevator, and change it because I need a reaction down on my airplane. On your airplane can be completely different situation, maybe 50%, and this is okay. Yes, this is butterfly mix. Yes, I go on landing, I brake, oh, I'm too long, no problem, I go, but safe switch must be on during flying, of course. I will go on landing, brake, more, no, I am too long, no problem, I can go with motor on a new round around airfield. And one next small helper for flight mode soaring. During soaring I have on throttle stick camber mix, is it camber mix. And with eyes on airplane I can't look on my transmitter if is my throttle stick in center position. Yes, I can make a little bit helper for this model, screen 2 from 10, and I can make beep count. I can make a sound signalization for center position of throttle stick. Go on T like throttle, R like rudder, elevator, throttle, ailerons, P1, P2, potentiometer 3. T like throttle, menu, and you can see T is now in inversion in black rectangle. Now, when is throttle stick in center position, you can hear a small beep. Yes, when you fly soaring, you can hear that your wing is in 0 position. Yes, and I think that's all. Okay, our finished glider model lesson 05. Switch on a safety switch for motor. 3 position switch, master switch is on, and 3 position switch is up. Flight mode start. You can fly with standard model when flaps helps like ailerons. You can see flaps helps like ailerons. Motor is on standard throttle stick, and to elevator are mixed flaps for better brakes. Yes, only for go up, not for down. Up flaps on, down flaps without reaction. Of course, it works in same time with standard mixes. Okay. When I fly with start mode, I go with airplane to higher altitude. When it's my throttle stick in center position, I switch on soaring flight mode, where again flaps reaction on elevator movement, ailerons, only ailerons like ailerons without flaps, but with mixed rudder. Yes. And on throttle stick I have a camber mix, more speed, less speed. And motor engine is on this switch on position of this potentiometer. Flight mode, landing, go down with free position switch. Elevator without any flaps action. Rudder, ailerons, only ailerons. And throttle stick up, throttle, and down, butterfly mix. Yes, and in flight mode soaring you can hear the center position of throttle stick. You can hear it in every flight modes because this is option for all model, not for flight modes. About flight modes, Er9x don't know standard flight modes, and we haven't any slow blend between flight modes. Yes, you can use some delay or slow options and mixes, but in more complex models, mixes, when you have more mixes in model, delay or slow options not works properly. Sometime yes, sometime no. I don't know why, but because it not works properly, I can't use it. You must know it because if you are in flight mode start, you can go with airplane in high altitude, and if you go with throttle stick down and you switch on flight mode soaring, your wing, your flaps and ailerons are down. You must know it and return it in center position. Or if you go from flight mode 1 to flight mode 2, from start to soaring, you must go with throttle on center position. What probably you will to do, because you will start, you go up with throttle. Yes? In previous version of this airplane I used delay, yes, but sometime works, sometime not. This is of course with many, it's not bugs, simply Er9x haven't flight modes, and we must know it, and we must make it with a simple different way from radios that have standard flight modes. But for T9x exists a sister of Er9x, or brother, firmware Groovin, and Groovin have standard flight modes with continuously blend between one flight mode to next. I will test it, try it, and if it will be works, I will make any movie with this firmware. Okay, see you later on my next movies. And all lessons, lesson 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, EEPROM files from this lesson will be for download on my pages. Yes, you can see a link on info under this movie on YouTube. Yes. Okay, see you later.